Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a tarot oracle reading, and this is for the end of the month of July, the last 10 days. And you, Libra, are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Libra, we all have a little bit of Libra in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Libra in, that could give you further clarity as to where this information lies for you. Also, this is a timely reading. If you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. But if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that could give you further clarity as to what's going on now. We do have the Two of Pentacles. Pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world. And this is talking about money, of course, because money is an important part of that. But you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle you want. So this is talking about more than just making money. It's talking about lifestyle. And this is saying that you've been very busy. You might be multitasking a lot. The energy is, the warning with this card is that when you're multitasking, you want to be careful not to get to the point where you're just being busy to be busy, which is represented here with this small boat going bigger and bigger, gaining momentum until you get to the point where you're just busy and you don't even know why you're so busy. And the next thing you know, the quality of your work suffers and you have more quantity than quality, causing you to have to go back and do things over again. So it defeats the purpose. Also, this is saying juggle your morals, but never, juggle your options, but never your morals. The King of Cups is coming out here. The King of Cups is wanting to offer a cup of love to someone. Now, this could be your energy or it could be someone else's energy. The King of Cups is sitting out in the middle of all this rough water on his throne. And the rough water in tarot does represent mixed or volatile emotions as well as chaotic energy. But he's very calm sitting out there. He's in the eye of the storm. He has learned to contain his emotions and he's very good at it. This is saying you may need to learn this as well. It would benefit you. And it's talking about him, the cups in tarot represent love. It could be romantic cup he's offering, or he could be offering a cup of love to someone or something, and maybe even something you love to do or you love to be. So this, he's waiting for the opportune moment because for whatever reason, he feels it's too chaotic at this moment and he doesn't feel that his offer will be accepted because of the chaos. So he's waiting until the opportune time. Now that's for the internal forces. So those are your internal forces saying that you need to be like the King of Cups. Take control of your emotions, stay calm even if it's really chaotic around you. And this could be a king coming towards you, or you could be wanting to offer someone a cup of love at this time. So if it feels off to you, don't do it quite yet, or you might be disappointed in the result. This is judgment coming in from the Most High. Yeah, if there's judgment coming in the near future, you probably want to see what that's about. The ancestors are literally climbing out of their boxes. This is God's judgment coming down. And they are excited. They're like, yay, that's judgment. The angel is blowing their trumpet and judgment is finally coming down. They may have had some unfinished business that they weren't able to deal with before they crossed the veil. You can see the descendants in the background waving back and forth. So this could be talking about a major curse or something in the bloodline that is being cleaned up karmically. And so this is, sometimes this can represent skeletons coming out of the family closet. As well, it can represent Pandora's box being opened on a bigger scale. And then we have the Chariot. So the Chariot is talking about this is already happening on the spiritual realm. And you are on your chariot. So this is saying, this is in regard to your abundance. This is saying that as long as you stay on God's path and you stay on the chariot, you're going to, and you're on the right side of the law, when this judgment comes down, it's going to be in your benefit. If you're on the wrong side of the law, then the judgment is going to hit everybody who's on the wrong side of the law. And there's no reins on this chariot. The chariot is like a tank. It just doom, 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 doom. It just runs over any obstacles on its way to get to the end. And like this is God's judgment and God's plan being put into place. And we have the Two of Wands. The wands in tarot represent the element of fire. And this is talking about, the wands are made of wood. Wood fuels the fire, and this is taking passionate action. So this could be your energy here, standing at the turret of your castle, overlooking your domain with the world in your hands. And you're like, yes, I've been so successful. I've done so much here. And that's represented here. But you're feeling a lot like a big fish in a little pond, and you realize, yes, I've been very successful, but I come from a village of 5,000 people and I need to expand my horizons. So perhaps you're even thinking about expanding internationally because we have the distant horizon with the water in between. You may be communicating with people overseas to find a way to expand your horizons. This energy is talking about quite often entrepreneurial energy where you've planted one successfully, but you're wanting to expand it now. This could be about franchising. It could be about, communicating with others across the world, going online, whatever this is. But it is about wanting expansion. And this is talking, sometimes this could even be saying that you have passion for someone and you want to expand your horizons in maybe having a family or some energy like that. So it just, you would have a better idea. This is about your early communication. Maybe you've always wanted to have a family and you haven't started one yet. And you feel now that you have at least this planted, that you would have enough to be able to move forward with that. We also have the Queen of Pentacles energy. The Queen of Pentacles is known for being very resourceful. She is sitting on her throne and she is totally 100% in her element. She is very focused on this pentacle. She's known for being resourceful and being able to make something out of nothing because she prefers quality over quantity. And so this is talking about old money. In old money, people don't need to flash it around and, be purchasing all the latest, trends or designer fashions or whatever to impress other people. She's not interested in that. She understands that the money is a tool. But the interesting thing about the Queen of Pentacles is I've been asking the question because there's been a lot of people in my community asking this or bringing it up, that they had an inheritance that went sideways. Somehow they didn't get it. They feel like there was theft. Something went on and they want to know what happened to their inheritance. And so I am asking the question every time she comes up now for my community. I want to know, why is the Queen of Pentacles having to be so resourceful if she comes from generational wealth? Can we please find out about that so that she can get her pentacles back? And so this is talking about how you're feeling right now. You feel like this energy is how you feel right now, or maybe it's who you want to offer the cup of love to, that they feel that way. It could be either or both, we take it how it works for you. And then we have this energy of the High Priestess, and she is known to be very highly intuitive. She is sitting in between two extreme pillars, like total opposites, and all this information is pouring in. That's all that busyness in the background. So the more information you have, the more energy you have. Information equals energy. And this is talking about things speeding up because of it. Now, if you ask a logical question, you'll get a logical answer. And so she's asked a logical question about this information, and she has like 10 answers, say. And she's like, okay, now what? Okay, they all could work, but which one would be the best for me? And so this is the difference between your mind and your brain. Your mind will be asking the question, and it's your will and how you're going to move forward. Your brain is like your central nervous system, the components of your spine and brain. and they allow you to feel sensations in your body. And when you ask yourself a question and then you look at the logical answers, as you look at each answer, you might get a sensation in your body from the central nervous system, and that might tell you, like if it's an elevator dropping feeling, like you know, ooh, I don't think that's the correct one for me. They'll all work possibly, but which one is the best one to work for you? And then you might have another one that makes you want to stand up and, you know, feel really straight and tall and feel really like it gives you that really good feeling inside. That could be your strongest answer. So this is the energy that she's dealing with, and she's very good at doing this. She also uses her intuition in sync with the phases of the moon, because she knows that that's when she's at her most powerful, at the full moon and the new moon in particular. So this is saying you need to be like, if you're in a situation like that, you need to ask the question logically, get the answer, stop thinking, and then feel. What is your body psychosomatically? What is your body telling you? Which one is the best one? If you go with that one, you may find that it works out really well. It does usually work out very well for the High Priestess, and she is sitting in between the two extremes. This pillar represents Jesus, and this pillar represents the devil. So she is, you know, she can do it, so can we. And then we have the energy here of the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles has been coming up a lot. I feel that a lot of people are kind of feeling this energy right now. We've got Neptune moved into the sign from Pisces into the sign of Aries about 2 months ago. And that energy, Neptune is kind of in charge, like it really affects how we approach life, our idealism. How do we approach relationships with people, with money, with work, with everything we do, basically. And, you know, we have a tendency to set up systems. Like Neptune has been in the sign of Pisces for 14 years. And, you know, when you're in business or, you know, you have a lot to do, you set up systems, and those systems, you know, you perfect them over the years. And it's like, okay, if I do this, 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 and this, I know that I'm going to get there very quickly. And that's quite often the secret to a lot of people's success. But all of a sudden, these systems are not working the same way. And this person is wondering, how is it possible that I invested 6 pentacles of my time, money, and energy into this project, and this is what I got out of it? 1 pentacle? Like, this person's used to being way more successful than this, and they're wondering what the heck is going on. And it could be this energy of Neptune having just moved into the sign of Aries. Now, Aries is the newborn baby of the zodiac. It's the very first sign, and it's very rammy energy, head first. You know, the glyph is a ram. And that you know, think about babies, they come in head first. And this is very, like, it's Mars is the one that is the planet that rules over Aries. So it's much more aggressive. And you know how if you've ever had a newborn baby in the house, you'll know, like, they're little and they're helpless looking, but man, when they start crying, everybody's running. The baby's crying, the baby's crying. What can we do to please the baby? It's that kind of energy. And so it's really confusing. It's like for 14 years this has been working, and you finally perfect it, and now it's not working. But it just may need a little bit of tweaking. It just recognize that you might have to do things slightly differently to be able to get the results that you want. And they might even be better than you thought they would be once you make these small changes. Neptune is going to be in Aries for 14 years now. So it's not something that is just going to be a passing thing. It's kind of like when your phone updates and you wake up in the morning and all of a sudden you can't figure out how to use your phone again after you just finally figured out how to use it. And you didn't ask for the update, but they went and updated the phone anyway, and now you're dealing with it. It's that kind of energy. So this is saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Take a look at it like this, and maybe you just need to tweak it a little, try little experiments, and see if you can get it back to working in your favor, maybe even better than before. The other way that this card has been coming up, though, is more regarding your spiritual bank account. And what I mean by that is maybe you have put one pentacle in and you have 6 pentacles out of it. I mean, we're talking about 700K here. So you're like, woohoo, you know, normally you'd be so excited and jumping up and down. Yes, I did it. Look how good I did. How good I did, probably how much better I did. And you'd be really proud of your success, but it's falling flat for you. You just don't feel anything anymore. It's like, so who cares? I took all this time. I could have been out, you know, maybe, you know, finding the love of my life. I want to start a family. I'm not interested in this in the same way I was before. And so it can be that kind of energy as well. So whichever way that may be for you, you know, is talking about your daily routine, habits, how you run your life. And let's see now, we're going to look for the external forces now for the other half of this spread. And we have the King of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like the King of Pentacles energy is coming in here, talking about the external forces. So I just feel like this is representing, the King of Pentacles represents, you know, someone who's very good at finances and business, etc. And this is an external force coming towards you. And I just feel like this is just the whole money thing on the planet right now. There's been a lot of changes happening with tariffs and this and that and wars and the price of oil going up and groceries. I know here in Canada, groceries, like I couldn't believe it. I think I spent $21 on 24 popsicles, like just single popsicles. And I looked at the bill when I got home. Did I just spend $20 on 24 popsicles? Yes, I did. And I was like, wow. I remember when I used to be able to get 24 popsicles for like $3. Like, it was just like, what? But in their defense, they are pure juice, or so it says on the box. So this is like the energy a lot of people are in. It's like just things are changing in the monetary value in many ways. And so, but this card does represent people that are experts at finances or doing very well with this energy. And so we have, you know, people that are maybe in the banking industry. It could represent, you know, if it's a banker, this would be someone that's in the, you know, at least a manager of a banker or higher. This could be wealth management, you know, financial planning. It could be, you know, retirement planning, life insurance, accountant, and if it is, they're most likely to be in a partner in an established firm. This also can represent, it's the element of earth, so it can really represent real estate, land development, mortgage brokers, and even like stockbrokers selling oil, gold, silver, diamonds, you know, mining, pulling things out of the ground and selling them off. And then this can also represent maybe someone has a business, they're an entrepreneur, and they really are, you know, successful, or even someone who's the head financial advisor of the corporation, and also maybe even of a country. Maybe they're in charge of the federal budget or something like that. So this is people that have a lot of experience with business. They're doing very well. And the grapes on their robe show it. So grapes in tarot represent an energy of, you know, something that's a luxurious item that's challenging to grow, but they're able to do it in challenging times. And this is in your partnerships, commitments, and sometimes your spousal energy. So we'll keep going and see, okay, what's this about? We have a King of Cups here. We have a King and a Queen of Pentacles. Now, it's interesting because this is talking about an external force now coming towards the Queen of Pentacles. And normally this would be a couple. So there could have been maybe a divorce here or something, which would explain part of the loss of the Pentacle energy and the juggling of funds, all of that energy. We do have, yeah, sabotage here. Wow. So there's some external force causing sabotage towards you. This is having your, you know, like your hand is in the form of a blessing, which is the same blessing, the hand figuration that the Hierophant has, who's in charge of bringing God's justice in. So if you've been on the right side of the law, this is saying that in the end, whatever's been happening here, that has you down here, it could end up being a blessing in disguise, because clearly, like the sword energy is the element of air, and it's representing your thoughts. And so these are the thoughts of other people planted in your back, and they have you down on the ground and they want to keep you there. Now, this quite often can represent over a decade of this energy. It can represent one person doing this annually, like once a year, which can represent maybe some sort of pentacle energy, an investment, a trust, something you're supposed to be receiving and you're not. This can represent the energy of 10 people or even 10 groups of people doing this. It would all depend on how many pentacles are involved. So this is talking about, the light at the end of the tunnel is that this may be a blessing in disguise. And I guess the best part is if they're busy sticking their swords in your back and trying to keep you down, then probably you're not hanging out with them at this time. So that's a transition that's happening. And you notice it's right across here from the Chariot. So your abundance. So it's definitely affecting your abundance, but God's judgment is coming down on this energy. And then we have the moon. So this is really interesting as well, because, okay, so wait a minute, this was supposed to be here. Oh my goodness, and this is in, because the King of Pentacles is the underlying energy for all the external forces. So that would be a broader picture, which makes sense. But this is saying someone that's a partner, someone in your inner circle, or even so much as to say your spouse is involved in this, which could be if the external forces are this, and this is a couple that's no longer together, then this could represent divorce, and divorce lawyers and all the process of that happening. So the moon energy is the part of the transition. So the moon is talking about hidden illusions and secrets coming out. We do have this energy of skeletons coming out of the family closet. And this lobster wants to get through here on his path of glory between these two pillars. There's a dog and a wolf howling away at the moon here, and he's trying to figure out, how am I possibly going to get past these two? I feel so vulnerable, but he's like, I've got to do it. Like, I don't want to have to go all the way around. I don't have time for that. I need to get down that path. So he's, he's waiting till maybe they get tired and fall asleep or something, and then he's going to sneak by them. The domestic dog can represent your domestic side, how you are at home. And maybe you've been isolating and you've been in this energy. So, probably you have. And then this energy coming towards you. And then this is the wolf, and the wolf is your wild side. So this could be saying you've been out and about, and it's time for you to really take a look at what's going on here. It's serious. And so we do have eclipse energy here as well. We have the sun, the full moon, and the new moon. And we did, back on February 17th and March 3rd, we had an eclipse season. And that energy lasts for about 6 months. And we just had that, it's coming to an end around now. And you might want to look back what was going on back then, around middle of February towards the beginning of March. What was going on in your life back then. That might give you some clarity as to the situation now. We are moving in mid-August. We will be moving into another eclipse season, but each eclipse season lasts kind of in the background there for about 6 months. It might be really beneficial for you to take a look at what was going on back then. That might give you some more information about how to stop this from happening. So this is saying that, like as I said, when you're on your path, the illusions, the secrets, the hidden parts are going to come out. And there may be something in the family closet that is, comes out. Whoa, and then we have this energy, the 9 of Swords. So when the 9 and the Swords and the 10 of Swords come together like this, it's not uncommon. This is staying awake at night because of this energy, a never-ending nightmare. There's one person after another putting a sword in your back, or that type of energy. And so it could be one person, it could be 10 people, it could be 10 groups of people. It depends on how much coin there is. And this is talking, it has to be worth their effort. And so this is talking about waking up in the wee hours, like panicking, having another nightmare about it. Or it can be that you have been meditating and praying and asking God, hey, what can I do about this? I'm so tired, God. Can I hand this over to you? And you get maybe a dream and it shows you the consistent steps of action that you need to take, and you're trying to remember it. Or you just have like an epiphany. Wow, I know what I need to do. And this is the quilt on this bed has cosmic symbols on it. That's saying the universe does have you covered, but you are going to have to leave your comfort zone. You're going to have to get out of bed and do something about it. There's also this energy of people fighting with swords here on this wooden bed frame that he's sleeping on. And it's just as a side note, if someone, if you're sleeping, I mean, you probably aren't sleeping on a bed frame with people jousting. That's probably not your bed these days. But sometimes we put things underneath our bed for storage. And in feng shui, they'll tell you don't do that because you need to keep the energy running clear through that, through underneath your bed. But sometimes people live in smaller spaces and they really need that storage space. So it's just not viable not to use it. But check what's underneath your bed. Like you might have photographs in a box that you threw in there because you didn't want to look at them anymore because they involve people that were a big part of your life, and you don't want to throw them out because it's like 10 years of your life. But at the same time, you don't really want to look at them, that you don't want them around the house. So you stuck them in a box and you stuck them under your bed. That can really affect your sleep. So just, clutter in general in the bedroom can really cause sleepless nights. And then we do have the energy of the Page of Swords coming in. So the Page of Swords is talking about some sort of information, communication coming in about this sword energy. And so I feel this is sometimes an investigation has been going on. This could be legal or illegal. Quite often it involves like hidden cameras and hot mics and using technology to spy on people. It can talk about hiring a private eye. You may have done so to see what these people have really been up to. And now the information is starting to come in. The thing about the Page of Swords that's significant here for me is that, the pages would work for the king and queen from a very young age, 7 to 14 back in those days. And so that sounds really young, but the life expectancy was only half of what it is now in many cases. So, people worked at a very young age, and their main job would just be to run communication back and forth. That was the only way they had of doing it throughout the court, and running tasks and errands, etc. And as they became more mature and able to take on more responsibility, then they would be given it. And it would be a real coup for the family. It would be like dressed up in finery and learning, like apprenticing under like the elite, under starting. So this can represent, you may have been apprenticing under someone to have a skill set or something. It could have something to do with that. This information could be coming in from when you were in elementary school, high school, when you were just starting on college, university, or were apprenticing or doing something and wanting to get your certificate or ticket in it so that you could do it. This energy is also talking about the energy of, communication coming in, like from within, like an aha moment. An epiphany. Oh, that's what I need to do. I've got it. This is like a breath of fresh air. The Page of Swords is not looking at his sword, at his element. He's looking away from it. He already has the logical question. He's thinking outside the box now. He's feeling instead of thinking, and feeling to see what is the intuitive answer. He wants a creative solution. And so this is talking about thinking outside the box and in your career and reputation. Public image, basically. And we have the 8 of Wands here. So the 8 of Wands is talking about launching this new aha moment thought forward. Or it can be talking about these thoughts that are coming from these swords coming towards you. And this is in your form of blessings. So you may be sending them back this way to this energy and saying, Ifyou, when you're in the dealing with the external forces, the question isn't what if this happens, what if that happens. Now you're asking what the EF happened, and now that you figured it out, oh, it's these this sword energy. You're saying EFU, external forces back to you. You can keep your external force energy. This is actions being taken. I'm sending it back towards you. That I am going to collect my blessings and move forward. And we do have, yes, this is being left out in the cold, the Five of Pentacles. So this is the hidden secrets, illusions. This is where this energy wants you. This is talking about tactics being used to put you there. Quite often, several people, several groups gaining up. If so, it would be a lot of coin. They won't do it unless it's worth their while. And so, and this is about using tactics to ruin someone's career and reputation. But now your blessings are coming through there because you're sending that energy. It's not like you're sending it to them. You're just not accepting it. You just like, and then it just goes back to them. Exactly what they wanted for you is exactly what they are now going to get. If they wanted you to be homeless, they're going to be homeless. If they wanted you to be having a plague and having to wear a plague bell, they're going to be in that energy. They're down to 5 pentacles between 2 people. That's where they're going to be, losing homeless in the streets. That's what they wanted for you. That's, so being sick and unable to look after yourself, that's the energy they wanted for you. And so it's backfiring. This is a major backfire, this energy. And it's sitting in the hidden illusions and secrets are coming out. And that's just what's happening on the planet right now. Astrologically, it's in great deal because of the energy of Uranus moving into the sign of Gemini almost 2 months ago now. And this energy is just like the truth coming out. And we haven't had Uranus in Gemini since 1941 to 1949 when World War II was happening and the aftermath of it. And there's just a lot of truths coming out in that way. Uranus is a pain in the butt for people who don't want the truth to come out. It's a blessing for those who do want the truth to come out. And the full moon that we have coming up on the 29th is going to be also in the sign of Aquarius. And I will be covering that in astrological readings after this one. I'm going to do a bonus full moon reading separately. So there's a lot of energy astrologically out there that's affecting a lot of people. Just keep it in mind if you're in this energy where it's kind of like, whoa, it just feels like it's like going, in so many directions. Just remain calm like the King of Cups. Contain your emotions, stay steady, do what you can, and I feel like the energy is sorting itself out. I'm going to clarify for those that want clarification with my oracle. Now, if you're leaving the reading here, I just want to stop and say thank you for your time and energy, your likes, comments, subscribes, all of that beautiful energy. I really do appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next reading. And then I'm going to clarify now with my oracle. And this is Tales from the Vector. It's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I completed all of the 64 paintings in 2020. I started way back in 2007. This is one of the paintings from that oracle. And I am putting them in the order they appear here. This is the order they appear in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. And so I will put this in the description box in the way that they appear here. And then you can go check them out if you want further clarity after this. All right, there's a lot of energy here, that's for sure. All of the readings have been like this so far. And I've had a lot of it took me 4 hours to upload the Virgo reading. It's just been like it's been taking way longer to process videos, etc. So that's that Mercury in retrograde energy at work. And so this is destruction on this energy. This is part of the reason why you're staying so busy and feeling maybe like you're not getting anywhere. And you might be saying to other people like, man, like I just don't understand what's going on. And they're, oh, it's just your imagination. We're all in it together. Don't worry, you know. But in the meantime, they want you to stay busy so that you don't take the time to take a look at this. We have worldly and otherworldly desires. This is a karmic space that people can fall into. Give yourself total permission to go after your own authentic desires, but it's kind of silly to want someone else's destiny. Not kind of silly, it's very stupid really, because you're not, it's, people think they get away with it, but if they do, it looks like they got away with it, the descendants are gonna have to clean up their mess. So thanks, Mom and Dad. Thanks, Gramps. You know, it's that type of energy. We really appreciate it, you know. We have the guiding star energy here. Use your intuition about this situation because you know something is telling you something. So you need to be like the high priestess and use your intuition as well as your logic. We have Cancer energy coming in. Well, Cancer rules the moon. We did just have a new moon, but that energy is moving off. I feel that it's more talking about this eclipse energy. That might give you some idea if you look back to that time frame, mid-February, beginning of March. I even did readings then. If you're curious, go back and take a look at that. I just want to point out when the astrological signs come in my readings like this, I'm not talking about individual people. I'm talking about the state of being of each of the signs. Every sign has its strengths and weaknesses that we can learn from. And if you ever get your chart done, you'll see you have them all somewhere in there. And so we can learn from it, and we can learn how to, how people, like every science has a specialty, right? And if we look at how do they do it, then we can adopt that specialty, and we may find that part of our life becomes so much better because of it. We have the Leo energy. Leos are natural born leaders, but like most of the fire signs, they're late to mature. So they're very independent, and they're you know, kind of last to mature when it comes to settling down and that type of energy. So natural born leaders, but they need to mature for it to really come out. And quite often the thing is, you think about teenage boys, you know, that, you know, they want to appear confident, but they know that they know that I'm not sure about this, but they'll come off as being arrogant, and you know, they'll be like breaking the rules, that kind of energy. So it's talking about, you know, being a natural born leader, but you need to hone that skill set and rein in your emotions, you know, like the King of Cups. We have the Wheel of Fortune here. So the Wheel of Fortune is turning in the Queen of Pentacles' favor. Thank you, universe and God. Every time she comes out, I ask the question. My collective is tired of waiting, so I'm making it one of the main questions of the readings when they come up. There's enough people wondering what happened to their inheritance. Well, it must be a common thing. The intent, the road to hell is paved with intention. This is talking about what are people's intentions around you. People could even have good intentions for you, but you know, their intentions, they think what's good for them is good for you, but just because it's good for them doesn't mean that it's good for you. And so, you know, don't let other people make your intentions for you. Make your own intentions. We have the World here. This is talking about neutrality, getting to that neutral place. When the Fool goes on his journey, he starts at the 0 point, taking a leap of faith. And when this card comes up, it says, okay, this cycle is now over. You've learned what you need to learn from it. And maybe that's talking about, this could be you hiring someone to take a look at your books or something, because you know something's off now and it's not just you. And or it could represent you just being, this could be your energy of having learned a lot about how business and finances and all of that works. The underlying energy for the King of Pentacles is the surrender. So this is talking about going back to your ancestors. This is psychic energy. Quite often our ancestors will show up in our dreams, because that's when they can get our attention and they'll bug us until, we pay attention. And this energy can be like, you'll feel a cool breeze come into the room, and maybe your dog or cat is right away like, hello. They're looking, and they're definitely looking at something because they can see it, but you can't. Sometimes lights will flicker in that, but there's like a cool breeze quite often when ancestors come in spiritually to speak with us. Then we have the Chariot again here. So this is definitely talking about if you're on your destined path, this is going to be a blessing in disguise. If you've been breaking the law, your judgment is coming down. And it may even be judgment, if you, from your grandmother, your grandfather, your great-grandmother and great-grand. This is actually could be representing the patriarchal line. So this could be more likely to be coming down from your father's side. And so this could be uncles. It could be uncles of both sides. It could be cousins from both sides. And it could be the energy of brothers and father figures. You could be a father, so it could be that type of energy. And then we have the transition on transition. So it's talking about, take a look at that eclipse energy and see if you can figure out maybe if something's going on, because this is saying this cycle is now over. So we have that being said here. We have it being said here with the Chariot coming in right after. Judgment is being called. The Chariot, it's already happening. It's this judgment, the transition's happening. This is basically saying court, boom. Court was in session, and now, boom, the judgment's been made. There's no going back on it now. Judgment is made by the Most High. It's going to be coming down to the physical. And we have disruption. What's fun for some is not fun for everyone. Yes, if you're in bed wondering what the heck is going on in your life, and you're feeling isolated, and you're just seeing your lifestyle go down and go down and go down, and the people around you going on vacations, they have a brand new car, and everyone in your circle is doing so well except you, and you're wondering, what am I doing wrong here? It could be a tactic that is being used on you, a tactic or two. And then there's indifference. Indifference is we're all in it together, a work in progress. And you might have asked people, have you noticed, I've been noticing something that's been going on here, and everybody's telling, oh, that's just your imagination. Like, no, that's not, like, what are you talking about? Why are you so suspicious? That type of energy. And these are people in your inner circle, so you're like, okay, I guess maybe I should listen to my friends and family because they're telling me that I'm being overly paranoid about it, or I'm seeing something that's not really happening. And then you find out it's the very people in your inner circle that are also involved in this energy. It happens quite a bit for people. It's people are talking about it in my comments. So this is this energy coming in again. I'm actually getting kind of tired of it. So I'm like, I'm tired of, it's not that I don't mind. The cards come up, I read them. But it's kind of like, I'm tired of saying, don't worry, justice is coming, justice is coming. I know it's supposed to be in God's good time, and I understand that. But at the same time, I just want to ask, like, what's going on with this? Like, the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. So that has to be, you have to remember that the only place where we have this linear time is on planet Earth. It's a human-made thing. So it will be in God's good time. God has a plan, and you just are going to have to accept that and allow yourself to move forward in that energy. Quite often, rejection is God's protection. So the need to be right, yeah, sometimes you just are going to have to, like, not be right. And you're just going to have to surrender this to God and allow God's plan to work for you rather than fighting it. And then we have the shooting star. If you want, like, the shooting star is talking about, if you wish upon a star, then and you just sit there, and then 2 years later you're saying, well, nothing happened. Well, maybe it's because you have to have a good attitude and move forward and keep doing what you can. Stay on your own path as best you can. Do what you can do in your own life, and have faith that justice is coming through, because it keeps saying it is, so it is. It's just the timing. We don't know the timing. We're just going to have to be patient. And quite often this can represent an energy, especially when it comes to Libra. You are all about justice. So Libra quite often will stick up for people other than themselves. Like this is like, so you might be the person that is being, that's strong enough to stand up to this. And it's not just you, and that's what's taking so long. So it's all part of God's plan. Sometimes we just have to trust that the universe is doing its thing. There's expansion, and things get messy, and then contraction, and it comes together. And, we're part of that plan, but so is everybody else. So there's a lot to consider in any given plan. And in any case, I do hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it has brought some sort of clarity to your situation. And thank you for your likes, comments, shares, subscribes. I really appreciate them. I will be doing that reading for the full moon coming up very soon. And I hope you've enjoyed this. Bye for now.